new Motera Stadium. The electric atmosphere.
100,000 people packed a new cricket stadium in the city of Ahmedabad to get a glimpse of the US president on his maiden visit to India. And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi ensured his good friend felt special.
India-USA relations are no longer just another partnership. It is a far greater and closer relationship.
Modi also took Trump to visit Mahatma Gandhi's ashram, where several hugs were exchanged. The local media dubbing the relationship between the two leaders a bromance.
But once you get used to it, you understand.
Namaste. Namaste. And hello to India. This is such a great honor.
The trip comes as the two countries have failed to agree on a trade deal over tariffs and market access. But Trump has vowed to boost sales of defense equipment to India.
I am pleased to announce that tomorrow our representatives will sign deals to sell over $3 billion in the absolute finest state-of-the-art military helicopters and other equipment to the Indian Armed Forces.
Trump, accompanied by wife Melania, also visited the Taj Mahal before heading to New Delhi for bilateral meetings on Tuesday. Day one of Donald Trump's visit was all about the optics, huge crowds and a lot of noise. But strategic and trade interests have put these two countries at odds of late. How can these issues be ironed out when the two leaders sit across the table will determine whether India-US ties can be reshaped and what rocky patches this so-called bromance can overcome. Ishan Russell, TRT World, New Delhi.
Well, for more, let's go to Amalendu Misra, a senior lecturer in politics at Lancaster University. Welcome to Money Talks, Amalendu. As we saw there, quite a rousing reception for Donald Trump in India. Now, the two leaders really have shared a special bond. What's behind this close relationship between Narendra Modi and Donald Trump?
Well, both of them are nationalists, and both of them are protectionist as well. So when Trump is talking about United States, he's talking about America first. And when Narendra Modi is talking about India, he's also talking about India first. So there is a kind of ideological alliance between these two figures and their populist figures in their respective countries. So there is a kind of ideological match, and they have got a voice which kind of connects to the masses. And on top of that, the historical developments in the last couple of years has put them in very sound footing, so to speak. And that's especially China, which we'll be talking about in a little while. So there is a kind of strategic partnership, a personal relationship, which sort of the chemistry that is there, and then the developments in the larger international politics.
Now, it is interesting, though, that shared ideology about putting each of their countries first may actually make trade negotiations, which are due to kick off on Tuesday, quite tough between India and the United States. Do you think either country is prepared to give ground when it comes to market access to their economies?
It is unlikely, because what we have already noticed is President Trump sort of talking about his military kind of deal that he's going to have with New Delhi, that is $3 billion. Otherwise, you would have talked about the trade that was supposed to be on the agenda, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. If you talk about the Indian budget, which was passed only last month, there is more kind of protectionism there. I mean, the taxes are there from cheese to toy, as one newspaper has put it. So India is not going to budge, and especially in light of the fact that the United States want to export things to India, which is going to undermine the kind of economy in a big way. Let's say, for example, dairy products. So India is a country of farmers, peasants, and so on and so forth. If India does open up the market, that's going to decimate it altogether. Then we're also talking about issues such as areas of medical technology and so on and so forth. And Indians simply can't afford the kind of high-end technology, medical technology that the United States wants to supply. So it is not going to happen. And that is the reason why neither Modi nor Trump talked about the big deal that they're going to have. And especially when there is an election year, President Trump may not want to antagonize the 4 million Indian American diaspora who he wants to court to this particular visit.
Okay, now what about the issue with the special trade status that Washington stripped from New Delhi last year, a status that's given to emerging economies? Do you think India might get that restored?
I would hope so, because what has happened is like there is a pattern. Both Washington and New Delhi have withdrawn themselves from the Asia Pacific Trade Pact, and because they didn't want to be swamped by the Chinese products. So there is a kind of common agreement that the threat is from China, whichever way you look at it. So the common enemy being China, United States has to lower its guard at some point,
Yes.
and Modi also would do something similar. So there will be a sort of amending the ways of both partners. But I don't think the 23.3 billion trade deficit that the United States has with India is going to be sorted anytime soon.
No. Okay. Amalendu Misra, always a pleasure. Thank you.